Going?
Yeah.
It's working on it. Schwarzenegger, activate! Yeah, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing out there? Now, this would be silly if there was some glitch and we're not actually live right now, and I would just be talking to myself. So I've got my buddy Brian here holding the camera. Brian, do you think we're really live right now?
Yeah, we are definitely live.
How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
People can hear your voice probably even louder than mine.
People really like that guitar.
Thank you, you guys. So if anyone hasn't tuned in yet with this new guitar, this is my brand new Gibson ES 335 cherry red. I got to pick out every detail. So I went cherry red because of Back to the Future, and also I've never had a cherry red hollow body before, so I would know that the audience would know that it's a new guitar. I actually picked the block inlays because of BB King has block inlays, and also for you guys, I think block inlays are easier to see than dots in a guitar lesson video. What do you think, Brian?
I think it looks just better straight up.
Oh, sweet. I think it's a little like most 335s that you see have the dots. So I just went for that.
The blocks are so cool.
Yeah, and then I chose not to go for any kind of Bigsby thing. I didn't want to complicate things. I've also got the newest version of their like PAF style pickups that they've got going on. There's a few little custom shop additions that I'm going to make to it, but the Gibson custom shop is that's going to take a little more time to get with that. But yeah, this is actually in conjunction with Gibson. So I actually went to the Gibson factory and basically went through every step of this guitar being made. I actually watched the lady or the woman that was doing all the spray painting. I literally stood right next to her as she spray painted this cherry color. I sat there as they wired the pickups and buffed it. They literally did the final step, buffed it, and handed it to me. And no guitar company's ever done that for me ever. So I got to give a big shout out to Gibson. I mean, they, they're going through, they have like the new CEO, they're kind of rebranding themselves right now. And so to be able to be in conjunction with that company and be involved and get to go through this whole process. So this is amazing. There's going to be a video coming out of that factory video where I'm making this guitar. We shot every element of it, so it's just not out yet. And then also I do a demo where I walk everybody through the guitar. But this live stream is about practicing efficiently. I read this article that I'll put in the links afterwards, but someone shared this article on Twitter with me about practicing efficiently, and it wasn't just a musical instrument, it's practicing anything. And I read through it and noticed that I was doing a lot of those things through trial and error organically over the years. So I thought it would be cool to talk about some of those things because it really helps me a lot. Also, I actually don't have my laptop. It's down there. But Brian here can see your comments. So if you guys have important questions or anything that kind of pops for Brian, he'll let me know. Or how are we doing, Brian?
Doing good. Everyone is giving shout outs from where they're from right now.
Oh, well, that is really cool.
Across the world.
Across the world. That is amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in. So keep the comments coming. Also, if you guys have anything that's helped you practice guitar, leave it in the comments so you guys can have a discussion and we can all kind of work together here. The gist of the article is I'm just going to pick a couple elements because one thing I do is since I'm basically making almost a video every single day, learning songs, teaching concepts that I've already worked on myself, there's a lot that I have to do fast. I have to learn songs really fast. So one thing that helps me is I usually, especially if something's challenging, I might pick something that's like a very difficult or just, something that's going to take some time to learn. And then I might take something that's easy and I'll just rotate them. So like I was just using this like, Metallica concept here, or Metallica riff. Oh, let me turn my guitar up. Ooh. Oh, and by the way, that all the lead guitar that you guys heard. That was my Schwarzenegger Overdrive. Available now at martymusic.com, where all martymusic.coms are sold. Okay, so let's take like a Metallica riff. If you practice something and you practice it the exact same way, the same speed, in just a monotonous fashion, you will get better at it. But you will get better quicker if you were to take that riff and let's say it's not perfect for you. You try and play at normal speed, right? Or let's say you're not playing it that clean yet. So what you want to do is you want to play it the normal speed, but then this is all just like, it's just brain science, bro. Just getting there, but it is brain science. So then you want to practice it slower than even feels natural, which is actually quite challenging. So I'm going to do that right now with that same riff. And what it does is your brain looks at it in a different way, but you're varying the elements that are getting in there, the juices, the brain juices. It's very technical. It's like a scientific term, brain juices. Right, Brian?
It's very technical.
It's super technical. But, so here it is. You're like, oh gosh, that's so easy. But it's all about learning it, mastering it as fast as possible. And then go back to normal speed. And obviously you do it more times than I just did it, but we're not going to sit here for a half hour while I do that. But then play it faster than you can normally play it to where you're making mistakes. That forces another part of your brain to absorb it from a different angle. Oops, see, I screwed up already. Right? To where you're messing up. And then take a break from it. Let it all soak in. The article was saying 6 hours of not doing it and then coming back. So that is a very efficient way to get things down. What I would do is I'd be working on that and just do it a little bit, not to where it gets monotonous or boring, and then I would move over to a whole nother aspect. If I was working on a scale pattern, I would do the same thing, and now I'm breaking it up. So now I'm working on something completely different. So let's say I'm working through the scale. I might do it slower than I should, or slower than I can naturally play it. Etc. Then faster than I can play it. Then just the natural way, like improvise with it, and then repeat. Then you get a little session going of that, and you're like, okay, I did some work. Then go back to and work on something else. So that's really helped me. And then when I'm learning songs, like I was saying a little bit earlier, like I was doing Master of Puppets by Metallica, which isn't really naturally my strong suit. So down picking really fast, all down picks. I would do the same thing. Whatever it is, I already forgot it. Whatever it is, let's go to this part. I would play that like this. Then I would play it faster than I can possibly play it. Then a spot in the speed where I can play it confidently. And then go right back to something completely different, like a funky blues, like I was playing in the intro of this. That way I'm also not getting sick of the fact that I can't play Master of Puppets fast enough. I'm going to get back to it again the next day. Now when it comes to fast things, it also is helpful to have a metronome that, gives you a tempo. And there's a lot of cheap apps out there, or even free apps probably. But I took, like, for instance, Master of Puppets, and I did a tap tempo to find out what the, what's called the BPM, beats per minute, are. So then you can actually use that to know what your goal is. So, like, Master of Puppets is 220 BPM, click, click, click. So I would just even just one hand, right hand. I might, I was doing it at 200 a lot because that was like really comfortable, as opposed to 220, which was too fast. So then I might just go up to like, not for too long, but like 225, which is even faster than the song, where I cannot pick that fast with all down picks, but just feel what that feels like. Then drop it down to like 180 BPM, and now you're playing a whoa, 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 right? So it's just a really important aspect of learning songs or techniques for that matter. And I just want to express that the article I read was helpful, but also it's what I've been doing as well. So that's that. Brian, anything going on there?
No, good lesson though.
Okay, good.
It's a lot of muscle training.
Yeah.
I like the idea of taking a break, doing something else.
I don't like things, I don't like when you're like the feeling of that you're forcing yourself to keep going. I mean, sometimes it's good, but I prefer the like, okay, I did like 15 minutes of that arpeggio, the crazy arpeggio, and then I went back to something that I was good at, or an easy song, just did something else. I'm going to open up our page here. But I think that was a good...
That seems like a good muscle break, mental break.
I guess it's adding variation. Even if you're like trying to learn a specific song, hitting it from different angles. When I learned I did the Mandalorian theme, which people seem to like. Okay, I'm looking at your comments. The Mandalorian theme, I mean, it wasn't extremely hard, but I had to like go through and learn lots of little melodies and little sections, also figure out how to do it on guitar. And I would use my Marty Music Slow Rider app, and I would literally play it where I would hear, let's see if I can remember it. It does something else there. But so what I would do is I'd literally play the recording in here and not go beyond that with the loop, and go and play and loop it slower, and it would sound like, and then I would play it, and I would just slide the app just so it added one more note. Okay, got it, and then slide it and add a little bit more. Okay, I got it. And then the next part was, I might actually skip the first part I did and then just loop this new little, like what felt like a phrase. And just play that. And get that down. Ooh, okay. Then I would slide the first part of the loop back and add the first little section I was learning. And do that over and over. Then maybe slide over just, you're right there, buddy. You got a little cough?
I just got to get it out.
You got a little cough going there?
No.
You okay?
Just a bad swallow.
A little frog in your throat there?
Sometimes you just need to let it go and then get it over with and not try to draw it out.
Because like people know there's like someone there, especially if you're like trying to hold a cough in, it makes some really weird sound.
It's like the person with the candy wrapper at the movie. You're like, just open it. You try to open it real slow, and it's like crinkling for like 5 minutes.
It's true.
Jaguar or Jazzmaster?
Let's see. Oh, I'm just looking at some comments. Oh, someone says, what's the next natural step after the beginner acoustic lessons that I have at Marty Music? Well, there's a free course on Marty Music that's called Acoustic Embellishments. Free. And that was designed to add to your little bag of tricks after you've got the basic open chords down. So I'd recommend that. But if you're wondering after that, I would say beginner blues, because everything's related to blues. Blues is rock, blues is funk, blues is pop. I mean, it all comes from that. So being able to comfortably play through a 12-bar blues would be really good. So those would be the next steps. After that, it starts to boil down to, okay, what do you want to do? When I used to teach lessons, I would always be like, well, what are your goals? Like, do you want to play in a band? Do you want to use it as like a meditative, something meditative where it's just a personal thing that you go off and play by yourself for a while? Do you want to play your favorite band's songs? So it kind of branches off from there. But the fundamentals would be like just getting your way around a beginner acoustic, getting your way around a basic 12-bar blues, which could be on electric or acoustic. And then from there, it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to play some solos? Or do you want to play some James Taylor, because I have a beginner finger picking thing. There's a lot of different places to go from there. All right. So, will you play some Red Hot Chili Peppers? It's my favorite band, says Tyler McClure. And yes, John Frusciante back in the Chili Peppers where he belongs. Welcome back. Alt music. Someone wants alt music. Marty, please teach us how to gent. Well, if you saw my gent video, you would see it didn't do very well. So I'm probably not the one to. I'm not the one to teach you how to gent, guys.
Is that a dance?
No, gent is like. Let's see. I was just like, gent is like the. It's like the onomatopoeia of like heavy metal chucking, Kanji31 said, can I do a Judas Priest song? It wasn't the one that I have coming out, but I want to say something cool about Judas Priest is when I was at the NAMM show last week, I shot a video with Richie Faulkner, the guitar player from Judas Priest, and he taught me you've got another thing coming for my channel, and that's coming out, where the Judas Priest guitar player teaches it to me on video for my channel. So that was really cool. Gibson made that happen too.
That is really cool.
I hit it off. Hopefully, no. I met a lot of really cool people last week at the NAMM show, but I hit it off with Jimmy Vivino from the Conan O'Brien band. Super cool guy. I hung out with Frank Hannon from Tesla. That was epic. He's a super nice guy. I met all these like little whiz kid guitar players. This kid named Taj from Australia who's got the dreadlocks and the hat. Got to meet him, and that was cool, like talking about how he learned a bunch of stuff from my videos, when he was little, because he's only 10 right now, so like back when he was a little kid. Beat Farmers, Greta Van Fleet, Big Time Rush. What chords should we do when genting? Well, it's going to be power chords. It's going to be an E power chord a lot of the times, or even like drop D. I don't have the right heavy metal sounding pedal here, you guys. That's the issue. But
what pedal would you use?
Oh, dude, the Metal Zone, bro. No, actually, you want like a Marshall amp or a Friedman amp. I have a Black Star amp over here. You can point to it. Yeah. Oh, mine froze. Just can't handle all that moving around, huh? But the Ooh, nice, Brian. Brian's getting fancy with the gimbal. Mine's frozen, darn it. Let's see. Let me just refresh it and see what happens. And that would be YouTube, not my. I have the fastest internet you can get here. No, but so the genting would be palm muting that sucker. You got to get the meat of your palm with that. That's it. A couple shout outs, real quick. All you guys that have shown support for Marty Music, thank you so much. It's not even 4 years old. Feels so great to be 3.5 years into Marty Music, and you guys watching and stuff is amazing. Anyone watching right now that happened to be at the NAMM show that I got to say hi to, thank you so much. And then also I've got about 20 Schwarzenegger pedals left in my inventory. So those have done great, and great feedback from people who have tried them out. So thank you. And then I think I've got about 40 Marty Music bloopers. So those are the first two pedals you want, regardless of if they're Marty Music or not. Is great overdrives, really fun, and a looper will help you practice. So those are the two things. A couple quick shout outs. Tons of new videos coming. Brian, did you catch anything?
Yeah, Bodie's Pizza wants to know how you can get sustained like Peter Green or Santana.
Ooh, Bodie's Pizza, what's up, dude? Let's do a trade. The Bob Marley Extra Crispy. You know what that is? Anyone know what that's from? Okay. Oh, well, the sustain humbuckers. If you have a semi-hollow body, that's going to help. Loud. You got to crank it, brah. Harder to get sustain at lower levels because it's kind of partially about the feedback. Santana, when he does a sound check, Santana actually walks around the stage. If he's at a new venue, he walks around and finds a sweet spot where the note rings out. And then they put tape right there as a marker so he knows when he wants to do one of those. He goes over there.
That's classic.
It's true. And then also a compressor, like if anyone's familiar with Trey Anastasio from Fish, he'll take it to the extreme, like in a kind of playful way, where it rings out so long that you can go to the bathroom and come back. That's a compressor. So like when he gets to that part where he's ready to have that note ring out for like 5 minutes, he just goes down, or a roadie goes down and just turns the compression or sustain like all the way cranked, and he just goes for that. Like, I don't know, it's probably too loud, you guys, for my phone, but we might as well see what we can do. And just real quick, Mike Rourke, Chuck Chenault, Gary Pridemore, dude, Garrick Pridemore, always thank you. DJ Pavlov TV, Bodie's Pizza, yes. Beanie says, what pedal should I get? Schwarzenegger Overdrive. Anthony James, Ozzy Farrow. Mike Bradley says, I met Mike Bradley and it's his favorite guitar teacher. How dare you? No, I'm kidding. Yes. We had an epic guitar YouTuber hang. I think it was on Friday night of the NAMM show. And if you watch like multiple guitar YouTubers, you would have been excited to be there because everyone from that scene was there. There was a couple not, but I mean, almost every single guitar YouTuber was in one area. Oh, Beanie says, where do you get your hats, man? They really suit you. Thank you. Not everyone agrees. Just a few minutes ago, someone was giving me a hard hat time. But there's a whole long story about the hat thing that I may have to talk about. But anyway, these are Brixton hats. No affiliation, no endorsement. It's a company, though, in the area, and they make clothes and hats. And yeah. Sell the Band, Ryan Jelovich, Chase Baker, Chris Davis. Jacob Valencia keeps asking, what pedal for genting? Why? I would suggest a Marshall amp as opposed to a pedal, but the Metal Zone, any distortion pedal, not an overdrive pedal, but a straight distortion pedal. So you can look at a bunch or try a bunch of different distortion pedals. That's what I recommend. Opinion on female guitarists. They are guitarists who are female. That's my opinion. Let's see. Simon Sanders. Jacob Valencia, thank you. Oh, yes. I took care of you, Valencia. Nirvana Boys. How long you been playing? What were your first riffs? I've been familiar with Guitars for Vets. Yes, Guitars for Vets. I have donated to Guitars for Vets. If you're related to them, you can private message me or the business contacts on my page, and I'm here for you. Let me know what you need. But I've donated to lots of courses and some other things. Cool, thanks. G Blogger. Well, the thing with the hat, you guys, too, is that, like, there's this thing called branding. That's for another lesson. But I've been doing YouTube, well, like, I've had YouTube as a career for about 11 years. I was doing it even before that, but the career part, you couldn't make your own thumbnails or anything back then. And the hat, I kind of accidentally wore it in my first, not accidentally, but I wasn't like always wearing it, but I wore a hat like this in my first like very popular video that got noticed. And there were comments like, oh, I want to see more of that guy in the hat. Where's that guy in the hat? Like, we want more lessons. This is the olden days. This is pre any gray hair. But it really helped me with those tiny little thumbnails. Just it just caught your eye just a little bit more, and then it becomes your thing, and people would actually be more surprised, disappointed, or like comment more if I didn't wear it, you know. And also like being at the NAMM show, like it immediately helps me be more recognizable, and I'm trying to market what I do so I can make a living and put my kids through college.
Grundy says you get your power from your hat.
Well, I love all that stuff. All the little memes that are created by that is great. Like I really enjoy any playful element of it.
And Chuck says he almost quit until he found your lessons.
Wow, thanks, Chuck. I appreciate that. So there was an interesting trend that I noticed at this NAMM show, and then also the summer NAMM show, and that was a lot more kids recognizing me or coming up and saying they were watching my videos. I remember like 10 years, Brian, you were at the NAMM show with me like probably 10 years ago.
Yep.
And I don't remember any kids like going, oh, hey, I watch your videos or whatever. And then what you'll notice, Brian's got a 1-year-old, but I have a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old. And what I know, and if any of you guys have little kids, like, you know, I don't know, 4 years old to teenager, you'll notice that YouTube is their main viewing habit. They watch YouTube more than anything else. Yeah,
it's their TV.
It's their TV. Yeah, they watch Netflix. Like my kids watch Netflix or Cartoon Network, and you know all these different things. But YouTube is like the oxygen. You know, like YouTube's even on in the background, and so that's a trend. But it's been really cool. You know, like my kids don't play guitar, but it was just really cool the last like 2 years. Little kids coming up and going, hey Marty, like you taught me this or that, and also seeing these little kids that are amazing, like that work through this thing that hopefully I'm going to be more involved with through Gibson guitars called G3, where they take these talented kids and they hook them up with guitars, give them opportunities to play like at the NAMM show events or other Gibson related events, and they get to experience like performing, they get encouragement, it's almost like a scholarship. And they get to do it when they get in it. They get to do it for 2 years. So all the kids from G3 that I met had, you know, learned from a lot of my videos and a lot of other ways too. You know, I'm not saying I'm the only one, but that's another thing. Like meeting all the other guitar YouTubers. Like there is, I mean, naturally, you have to be competitive to do it, but it was a very supportive environment of dudes. Oh, so the first time ever I met Guitar Lessons 365. I had never met him before. I know I'm saying the name of the channel, but that's how you would recognize him more. He doesn't say his name as much, but he has a twin brother. Got to meet him. Rick Beato was there, who I've shot videos with. Rhett Scholl. Some really cool people, like not from the United States. There was this Australian guy I'd never met before that was really sweet, and I mean, it was insane. Let's see, who else? Justin Sanderco, of course. Music is Win. I mean, anyone you can think of was pretty much there. Paul Davids. Oh yeah, Daryl Braun was not there, but I did talk to him on Instagram because I wanted to make sure, you know, anyone that I knew was clearly invited. Brett Papa, Tim Pierce. So that was really great because I go so far back with them. So anyway, yeah, more little kids noticing me, or that I've helped, which is amazing. And the flip side of that coin, though, is actually people going, wow, Marty, I watched you when I was a little kid. And they're like, they look like adults. So that's always weird. Any final thoughts, Brian?
Can we hear that sustain?
Oh, yeah. I'll do my best. It's a good way to end it. That's the vibe though, right? So if I turn this up even more, and we'll just end it when it's sustaining, Brian, end the stream, because I might break the internet.